So I am 22F. I don't have much knowledge about finances and stuff as I still live at home as I'm at university. I do however pay my parents about £300 a month rent, I pay my own phone plan, buy material stuff I want or need, pay out for other services like for music or whatever, and try to put as much as I can in savings whilst still keeping enough in my main account for day-to-day purchases. Currently, I am saving up for driving lessons and hope that if I pass decently, I can use some of my savings towards getting a car. I'm in my final year of uni, so I'll be done and able to work full-time when all this happens. I also decided to get a credit card so I can learn how to manage credit wisely and build some up. My credit score is good for someone of my age and circumstance, but obviously it's nothing great in comparison for other stuff. I should point out that at most I only plan on using this card with a total adding up to £100. I've stuck to that so far and only actually used it twice, with these purchases only adding up to £80, and I paid it off quickly. I do not plan on exceeding my limit anytime soon, as I've heard far too many horror stories of people just using their credit card too much cause it was handy and getting into debt. The only people I disclosed this to was my dad, as my mum has the tendency to blab to my brother and SIL, both 28. She happened to overhear us talking one day, and before I knew it, my brother and SIL got wind and asked me if they could use it. They both admitted they had debt spurned on by excessive credit card use and thought that since I basically had nothing owed on mine, it was free money. I told them quite politely that I was really uncomfortable with that idea and that I would owe the money, and I can't magic up that kind of money. Things went quiet until a few days later they both turned up at the house. They were nice to start with, but basically started demanding I let them use the card, and they tried to manipulate my mother into guilting me into doing it. I got really angry, and when my brother said I owe it to them because they used to babysit me up until a couple of years ago, I laughed in their faces and walked out. When I came home, I learnt they tried to manipulate my dad and he kicked them both out. My mother then tried and he told her to go too, and she is currently staying with my brother and SIL. The only person on my side is my dad, who tells me they're all trying to take me for a ride and they're trying to manipulate me cause I'm young and they think I'm vulnerable. My brother, SIL and mum on the other hand think it isn't a big deal letting someone else use my card. It's really messing with my head and I just want everyone to stop being in an argument. AITA.
NTA, your family are being incredibly manipulative. This isn't free money and they are trying to saddle you with debt.
Definitely NTA. It's just like your dad said. They are trying to manipulate and use you. You owe them nothing. If they want payment for babysitting you, then they need to get that money from your mom and dad, which your dad has made clear won't happen. They're trying to use your credit and/or credit card and stick you with the bill. You already pointed out they can't manage their own finances and are already in debt. Stay away from these people. NTA, your father is right. It's ugly when family take advantage of family. Go and hug your father for protecting you.
NTA, what in the hell level of entitlement is this? They are insane. The credit card is yours. They are not now, nor ever will be, entitled to use it.
NTA. Do not let them bully you into committing fraud. The only people to blame for their debts are themselves, and if you let them use your card, they'll rack up further debt. They won't be liable as it'll be under your name. They've stacked up the costs, so you'll be the one out of pocket, and that'll damage your credit score even further. I think having a set limit is really mature and the smart thing to do. Do not give in for the love of God just because you're young and don't know much about credit and finance. Your dad is right. They're trying to take advantage of you. Edit. I don't know why people are giving this comment so many awards, as it's literally common sense, but thanks anyway, I guess. Edit 2. Past 30 awards. Jesus Christ. What drugs are they on? BC credit cards aren't free money. You have to pay back the money later on. No wonder they have credit card debt. NTA. Never lend out your credit card. You might charge shared expenses to your credit card to accrue credit, but make sure to demand the other party pays you back within a certain timeline, or if they are charging another shared expense to their credit card to offset the loan. But don't give out your credit card number and CVC, ever.
NTA. And look into locking your credit card. Pretty much every card I've ever had has a lock option in the app, so it can't be used unless you go into the app and unlock it. That way if they find a way to steal your card, you won't have to fight with the credit card company to get your money back, and you can use it for whatever small purchases you want by going into the app right beforehand and unlocking it long enough to put the charge on your card and locking it again.
NTA sheesh. Hide the card, and keep an eye on your credit score just in case they decide to open a new card with your SSN, assuming they have access to that. Edit, since this blew up whatever the SSN equivalent is in the UK.
NTA, if your mother feels so strongly about this, tell her to lead by example. After all, they did babysit you when you were young, they are trying to steal from you. Clear and simple, if they cannot pay off their own debts, no way they'll be good to paying you back. Your mother very much seems like an enabler. Taking on more debt is the least thing they need. You're doing exactly the right thing by both living within your means and keeping them from taking you down with them.